So Captain America, Brave New World, and Thunderbolts both dropped trailers recently, and I have to say, damn, do they look cool. The Thunderbolts trailer promises a gritty, morally challenging story about a group of unhappy misfits coming together and fighting for some kind of redemption in a way only messed up people like them can. Captain America's trailer promises an intense, high-action political thriller about one man filling the shield of a legendary hero to stand up against an overwhelming and unchecked power far greater than his own. Both movies look unique and cool, promising interesting characters, badass fights, exciting mysteries, and a potential return to form for the MCU. As I look across the internet, I'm starting to see others feeling the same tentative hype for these movies and beginning to wonder myself if maybe, just maybe, they could actually be good? But every time I start to get too excited, I rein that in and I remind myself of something. Something that hurt me not that long ago. And that something is Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Like many others, I'd been underwhelmed by Black Widow, moderately entertained at best by Shang-Chi, bored to shit by Eternals, left wanting by Doctor Strange, annoyed as hell by Thor Love and Thunder, and really noticing T'Challa's absence in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Most of Phase 4 had lowered my, and many others' expectations of the MCU immensely. And now we were about to start Phase 5 with Ant-Man 3. I knew they were finally introducing their next big bad Kang to moviegoers with this movie, but I just kind of doubted it was going to be any good. But that trailer changed my frickin' mind. That thing promised something frickin' awesome and completely unexpected for a fucking Ant-Man movie. A grand, sweeping comic sci-fi epic. A story of a regular man swept up in something far beyond his scope and forced to face off against bizarre threats in a crazy, mind-bending world. An epic, Kirby-inspired sci-fi odyssey that would take Ant-Man to the furthest reaches of human imagination and launch the next decade of films with an all-powerful threat beyond any we'd ever seen, all overlaid with a beautiful and ominous Elton John remix that really hammered the message and themes this movie trailer was selling into your very soul. But we didn't get any of that. Instead, we got a family road trip romp with goofy characters and jokes, which, to be completely fair, is what an Ant-Man movie really should be. But it isn't what that trailer promised. So why lie in the trailer? Well, it's simple, actually. They realized they just spent nearly $400 million on a frickin' Ant-Man family road trip romp movie. And that they'd base their entire multiverse saga on everyone seeing an Ant-Man movie. They couldn't rely on standard Ant-Man numbers. They needed everyone to see this movie, the same way everyone had seen Avengers, or they were pretty much fucked. So they lied. They just popped out a trailer that promised a totally different tone and world than the movie delivered. No, don't get me wrong. The movie did have a lot of moments where I felt it came so very close to the movie the trailer had promised. Scott using his love for Cassie to anchor himself and get through impossible, mind-bending situations. Janet's abject horror at the thought of the all-powerful Kang escaping into our world. And Scott ready to sacrifice himself to save those he loves and the entire multiverse. But those moments are few and far between. The rest of the movie is jokes about holes, people standing in war zones talking casually and not being shot, even though they're giant. Pointless, wasted cameos. And one of the best comic villains ever, and one of my personal favorites, just not being taken seriously by anyone and used as a joke the entire movie for some reason I don't understand. And Kang? Well, he was introduced in the trailer as an epic Thanos-level antagonist. How can little old Ant-Man ever hope to defeat such he just uses ants like he always does. Okay, yeah, sure. Now, trailers have been outright lying to audiences forever. Y'all remember Kangaroo Jack? But what's worse about these modern trailers is that they really aren't actually lying if you look at them. They're taking cool elements that are in the cracks of these rushed hatchet job movies and expanding them out into awesome 2-minute trailers set to kick-ass music to sell an idea of what the movie could have been, but not what it is. I'm sure a lot of you remember the hype surrounding Suicide Squad based on that trailer alone. But when the movie actually came out, there were a lot of disappointed fans with what the final product was. Like Ant-Man, the movie did have glimpses of what was sold in the trailer, but only glimpses. The rest of the movie was something else entirely. Because when you go see a movie and you realize you've been overtly lied to, like Kangaroo Jack or Downsizing, you're just annoyed, but, I mean, come on, it's kind of funny, shit happens, whatever. But when you go see a movie and it has these little glimpses of the genius you saw in the trailer, it's so much more disappointing because you can't help but think if they would have just tried a little bit harder, you could have had something you would have fucking loved. On the reverse side, let's take another look at Guardians of the Galaxy. Its trailer promised us something crazy we'd never seen before. A crazy fun, awesome space adventure filled with weird, interesting alien characters, kick-ass cosmic shit, and an awesome groovy soundtrack. And what did we get in the theaters? Literally exactly what the trailer promised, pretty much beat for beat. And it led to massive success at the box office. That trailer captured the soul of the movie and presented it in an authentic and honest way. Many scents have tried to emulate how it achieved that, but since those movies can't actually sell you what's in the movie itself, they just try to trick you by selling you something that might not even exist. World used to be simple. A trailer would just show you the plot of a movie to interest you into seeing it. Now trailers sell the vibe of a movie to you. I actually prefer that. I hate seeing the plot in the trailers. That's what I watch the goddamn movie for. But if studios are so obviously willing to mislead you to the degree that Suicide Squad or Ant-Man did on what the vibe of a movie is, can we even trust trailers at all? As we choose whether or not to see Captain America or Thunderbolts in theaters, can we actually trust any element of the trailer we thought looked good is going to actually be in the movie? Well, the answer is sadly no. We need to remember as we watch these trailers that they aren't usually cut by people actually making the movie itself. Some trailer company is hired to make the product handed over to them look as fucking cool as physically possible. So the trailer people may be doing their job with a movie like Captain America 4 or Thunderbolts, but that doesn't necessarily mean anyone else involved is. The Ant-Man trailer is well edited and tells an interesting, unified, and relatively serious story. The Ant-Man movie is choppy, awkwardly cut, slow, and full of hit-or-miss jokes. One side took their job seriously. The other side wrote the line, "I am Darren Cross, and I am not a dick." For Captain America, we've all heard the behind-the-scenes drama. Crazy amounts of reshoots, multiple bad test screenings. All signs are pointing to this thing being the Marvel's level of bad, if not worse. But still, that trailer, good God, does it make me interested in seeing that frickin' movie. You got Sam Wilson facing down the fucking president, shit exploded, chopping a fucking car in half, Red Hulk, yada yada yada. It just looks cool. Now, will these movies be good? Well, good gravy, I hope so. I'd love to come back here and sing their praises to you when they come out. Superheroes are my favorite thing ever. I would love to see them continue to thrive, but I worry. Because if people who already feel let down by the last few MCU films go and see either of these movies based on the trailers looking cool, it's gonna be really easy for them to just say, fuck it, forever, if those movies suck ass again. And if you get enough people feeling that way, the MCU and all superhero movies are just dead. So my message: stop making cool trailers for shitty movies. It hurts the overall brand because people stop trusting it. If the trailers are more honest, then people can just skip what they think looks boring and watch what they think looks cool and trust you to give them an idea of what'll appeal to their tastes. Ant-Man ain't for everyone. Don't try to make it for everyone. Don't try and trick people. We're not as stupid as the person currently watching this video may look. And as the saying goes, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 10 times in a row, and I will make it my personal vendetta to make sure your entire corporation loses billions of dollars from audience disinterest and burns to the fucking ground, you lying piece of... Anywho, I think that's enough listening to some guy talk about superhero movie trailers. To those who listened to this entire video seething with rage that I dared criticize their favorite movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, I'll be waiting for your point-by-point takedowns below. To those who agree that trailers are getting too goddamn cool to trust, what movie do you think actually lived up to or surpassed the trailer? And what movie had a trailer way better than the movie itself turned out to be? Do you think the Cap 4 and Thunderbolt trailers are being honest? Or do you think they're just full of poppycock? Well, see ya. I'm off to make a video about some other esoteric and alienating pop culture topic. If you'd like to see that kind of thing for God knows what reason, you hit that old subscribe button and I will see you as soon as possible, baby.